Hey, what's going on? We got another one for you today, and we got a guest coming to the house, special guest. Hopefully, we get to meet up and link up and do it consistently. My boy, is it Melchisedec or Melchizedek? Which one?
Melchizedek is fine.
Melchizedek? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Melchizedek, man, that's a cold name, bro. That's a
Thank you,
cold name.
brother.
But yeah, man, thanks for coming on, man. I know we've been trying to link up forever, man. We finally was able to get together, man, and chop it up, man. So
Well, most definitely. Thank you for having me here on the podcast. I
no
can't wait to
problem.
get into these sports. It's going to be really good thing to talk about here.
Yeah, so before we get into the topics, I know uh, we got this the Nuggets blow the Heat off the court for their first game. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch the highlights real quick and break some of that down a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
Intriguing matchups, but that's number one. As Mark Davis will throw it up, and Caldwell Pope gains possession.
Now we should going back looking at some of those highlights, man. You know, they really was shit like the Heat, man. They just got more talent than the Heat, really, more firepower than the Heat, man. What you think about that?
Oh well, most definitely. I mean, the Heat has just pummeled really a novice team in the Boston Celtics, coming
Yeah,
off having a new coach. They really don't have a sophisticated program at this point. Not
right,
that they won't get one.
right.
I think that Coach Malone has a fortified program on how to win, and those guys are executing it to perfection here.
And also, I think the Heat, man, they use so much effort to beat the Celtics, man. I wonder how much gas do they really have in the tank because the Nuggets were able to rest up for like what a week and a half almost
I mean,
before they played the Heat because they
yeah,
swept the Lakers.
in my opinion, you can give the Heat 30 days of rest. I still think that they're going to still probably be out
Exactly.
outgunned here.
And they
You
still
know?
gonna be cooled off. They ain't heating
Yeah.
up. They ain't heating up these finals, so you can forget
So,
about that. No, they call
no,
the Heat. They gonna
I
be
mean, in my popular opinion, I think they'd be lucky to get a gentleman's sweep. They're lucky to win
yeah.
one or two games here.
Turn this off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely gonna be white cold. They ain't gonna be white hot. So don't be expecting them to be white hot.
No, I mean, hey, anybody got high expectations out of the Heat, man? You just hey, whatever they did last series, I think that's what you should probably look forward to. Here right now, they're dealing with a big juggernaut here with the Denver
Oh
Nuggets.
yeah,
I think they're going to have a lot to answer, and so
yeah,
we look at these different matchups. We look at these different personalities. It's easy to beat on somebody who's inexperienced,
yeah,
who's just coming out. You
yeah,
got uh, with Jalen, and you got what's Tatum. You had
yeah.
them two. You thought they were going to do something, and I did too. I had high hopes, but it seemed like they shrink sometimes during the
Well, on the
the
side note,
big
I think
moments.
something's off with them. I don't know if they don't like the coach because I heard that they're gonna keep Missoula, but I heard that the players were saying he changed their identity. They're more of an offensive team than they are a defensive team. That's the first time I heard somebody complain about being more of an offensive team than defensive team.
Well,
And what the players don't realize, you don't need the coach for that. You can do that on your own. You know what I'm saying? You can play
well,
defense on your own. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
anytime you make that type of money, the whining goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? And whether it's offense or defense, the coach doesn't play the games. And Boston was the better team. They just played soft. I
Yeah, I
mean
think
that.
they didn't have I think something just disconnected with them. I don't know what happened, but it's like something disconnected with those guys,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure what disconnect.
Well, they just play soft. I mean, anytime you got the most talent, you know,
Yeah,
Jason Tatum. I don't know anybody on the court that was better offensively than Jason Tatum. I know
yeah.
Caleb Martin is great, but he's no Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum has the size. He can.
Nah,
No, he doesn't have the arsenal. I think Jason Tatum is the best player. I just think that they shrink in the big moment.
yeah.
When it comes down
I
to
mean, the Nuggets had the perfect storm, man. I mean, big man Jamal Murray got something to prove. He got, was able to kind of work on himself, man. Rehabbing from the injury, he balling lights out. Then you got KCP. I know the Lakers regretting, getting rid of
Yeah,
KCP. You know what I'm saying?
KCP, it seems like he had a vendetta when he played the Lakers. He's like, you know
Man.
what? I'm about to get y'all off this court. I'm about to show you I'm on a better team. I'm about to teach y'all, show y'all that we're better too. So
Yeah.
KCP played very well when he played against the Lakers.
So do you think the Heat can win game 2, or you think they going?
And it's
You think
when I
they
tell you,
going?
it's like trivial. It's like pulling names out of a paper
Oh man.
of a hat, man. Will they win? Yes, it's like one of those.
I wouldn't bet on that. I wouldn't bet on that.
Not at all, man.
Yeah, I
Hey,
take the points. You give me the point spread, but I'm not gonna bet head up.
the probability is dismal here, you know.
Yeah,
And it's all what you said. Bringing it back to the beginning, they just Denver is just a better team.
yeah.
I
Better team
mean,
across the board.
yeah, I mean, it's easy. Like I said, it's easy to beat on guys who are, who are already like unsure of themselves because they just having a new coach, really haven't had that experience, that experience, that hunger, that
Yeah,
fight. Now, I know Jaylen Brown comes up with it. Marcus Smart has a lot of dog in him. Al Horford, he didn't show up too much the last series, but I know he has a lot of dog in him. I just think that they have to really have a strong grit, and they have to grow their identity as a team. And I
bro.
feel like they did that on the NBA Delco. I think that
And I
they
think
maybe
people need to realize, like, when it's actually a better team, like, what do you even tell your players? Like, I know you can't say we're not gonna win this series, but you remember we was in 10th grade, man, and I was the manager of the basketball team, right? I
right,
talked about this on other podcasts. We was the Central, right?
right,
And I know the coach didn't want to play them in the quarterfinal. He just didn't. It just happened. It just happened like that. And man, I mean, just Central was just. I'm sitting on the bench watching this with my own 2 eyes. They was like literally the better team all the way across the board. It was crazy. Like Joe Johnson in the middle and then 4 shooters around him. And it's like they just stand on the 3-point line. If you double Joe, he kick it out to the open person. They shit the 3. You know what I'm saying?
well,
You want 1-3-1 zone, he gonna beat you on the back door. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how do you want to lose? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
you pick your
But yeah,
poison, right? I feel
boy,
like I think going back to like where we went to high school and how we grew up, feel like it's so important to understand that you may not have all the like necessities that life may have, or you
right?
may have everything. Because I remember that year when when Keon McDuffie when we beat Hall, and
Yeah,
Hall was
they
undefeated.
undefeated. Yep.
You know,
What was it,
it
11th grade? What was it, in 11th or 12? I think it was in
11 or 12.
one of them. Yeah, I
I
remember that.
mean, we definitely weren't the favorites to win, but
No,
we took them to task. I
yeah,
think
Keon will that win.
yeah,
Yeah, it
him,
was on a
and
different level.
it was he had a few
Yeah,
other
him,
guys.
Richard Jordan, all them dudes, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
and
few
Raymond
guys.
Shaw.
Yeah, Shaw was on that
Yeah,
team. Yeah, I
shout out
think
to Raymond Shaw, man. Shout out.
yeah, big Shaw, man. Shaw go back Cloverdale on the
Yeah.
soccer field together. But that's it.
So you
That's
talking about Coach Davis? Boy, I
yeah.
slapped the mule with these hands.
Yeah, Coach
Yeah,
Davis was awesome, man. I wish I had a chance to play for him. Wish I had an opportunity to play for him. Just man, as we look at Denver and the Miami Heat, and we look at like possibilities and probability. The probability doesn't look so good, Even the
yeah. I think
possibility of
he,
winning don't look so
yeah.
high.
I think even if you had the time stone, it'll tell you like how many times you run it, they ain't gonna win. It's
Yeah.
like Dr. Strange told him, look, I looked at a million a million ways. How many times we win? 0. You're not
Hey,
gonna win. Yeah, man. This got
I,
to be tough for a coach though to look at this team and be like, man, we probably not gonna win this series, guys. I
well,
mean, you play your hardest.
You got Eric
Maybe an injury
Spoelstra.
may happen. Maybe an injury, hope not, but maybe an injury, maybe. But yeah, if they on all cylinders, they not gonna win this series though. Maybe I'm thinking it's 4-2.
Well, if
You know what I'm saying?
Denver plays them like they play LA, they're not gonna win. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're not gonna win. No.
if they stay consistent, if Denver stays consistent, I can smell a sweep, or at best or a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah.
I do think that you know I kind of hate to say this because Jimmy Butler has disappointed me in the past when I
Yeah.
have went for him and Bam Adebayo, but I do think that Jimmy has a lot of heart,
He
and
do.
I feel like that heart is going to help them will a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've went for Miami in the past. I kind of like even when they kind of LeBron went out and did his exit plan. I kind of like them to win a few games, but I will tell you they let me down significantly, and I don't see them beating Aaron Gordon while he's on, KCP while he's on, Murray while he's on, Yoke while he's
cooking,
on.
man.
I mean, man,
you can't stop Murray. Murray's on the tear, man. He's like, yeah, we're gonna talk about that later though. When we talk about the MVP. Next topic I got something is Monty Williams get like, I think it's around 72 M's to coach Detroit. Like, did he make the right choice?
I think he did. I look at the Phoenix Suns, and I mean that offense was pretty slow. I think, and I'm going to credit it to Chris Paul a little bit, because once he gets in, I know that he slows down the offensive lot, and in this league, it's definitely hard to play with a slow offense. And so Chris Paul is really going to have to really be at the right place. I mean, I could see him going with San Antonio. With Victor Wembanyama and doing an excellent job there. He needs to be in a really good system. If you're gonna play slow, or you're gonna play it in a rhythmic way as a point guard, you probably need to best be in the system. So
before I get on Money Williams, Chris Paul, right? His body is just like, as you get older, man, you just can't keep up like you could when you was in your 20s, right? Like, you think about, you go look at those LeBron James highlights when he played for the Heat. I don't know if it's like fast twitch or his acceleration being that young. It seemed like when he took off down court, it's like watching a race car go down court. Now that he's in his 30s, it's like what can I say? It's not a race car now. Man, it's more like a Silverado with like acceleration, but it's like a Silverado. He don't have that same burst like he used to have when he was younger. Same way with Chris Paul.
Yeah,
CP3. If he went to LA, because they kind of run the same kind of offense in LA, they kind of slow it down, then give it to the AD or something like that, or LeBron. I think he'll be good. But yeah, Phoenix Suns, man,
that's rough.
Because his hamstring, his body always betray him, man. When he get late in the season, you know what I'm saying? Always. Clippers, he got hurt too.
I'm a Clipper fan. That's my team. Watching CP3 facilitate the basketball with the Clippers. It was disheartening to see like how slow the offense ran. And these guys have fast. You got DeAndre Jordan, you got Blake Griffin, you got guys who are explosive, and Eric Bledsoe is there. You got guys that are explosive, and then you got this facilitator kind of slowing down the pace, and it doesn't bode well when it's not clicking. So I feel like he has to. He's going. I feel like Phoenix got a point guard problem, and it's not really.
Oh, they probably not gonna keep Chris Paul. That's probably not gonna happen. They probably.
I feel like he'll be better suited for
he probably
a different team, a different team, a team surrounded by firepower. Like he just look at some different options around the league. It's hard for me to tell you what team, but I know Greg Popovich has a nice system.
I just can't see him and Greg Popovich clicking. I don't know why. I just can't. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but it seems like their personalities are too strong for each other, man.
I think Chris is coachable.
Chris want the bag too. He gonna try to get that bag if he get.
I don't know about that. I don't know about.
He ain't gonna get that from Spurs.
Nah, he ain't getting that from nobody. Nobody's about to. I don't know where he got to go.
He should go to the Heat though, where he can get worked out and kind of get back in shape. That's where he should go. That'd be cool.
I'm at this point, and I'm not a Lowry fan. I feel like Lowry's decent. I'm going Lowry over CP3.
You're Lowry over CP3?
Yeah. And Lowry is so inconsistent, and you don't know what you're gonna get out of him.
He's a small guy, man. I mean, he's just a scrappy small guy. I think if he was like 6'3", he would probably be like still like really balling out, man. When you small, man, it's hard. I can only imagine being in the NBA, man. He like 5'11" with shoes on? He like 5'11"?
Tell me CP3.
No. Kyle Lowry. Like 5'11" with shoes on.
It's no telling, man. I know. I know for a fact that he has he got to work on that shot over the.
I didn't even know Jimmy Butler was like 6'7". You know what I'm saying? Wow. You know what I'm saying? But Kyle Lowry, he used to jump so high when he shoot, but when you get older, you don't jump as high. So that jumper ain't the same. The release point not the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he got to work on that jumper though. Over
it's probably hard because he older. What are he like 32?
Man, hey, if you gonna
gotta be around.
You're gonna be playing around Miami, and then they said Tyler Hero was the second player on your team. I mean, that should be an insult to Kyle Lowry. You know, if they saying Tyler Hero is your second best team,
I
and
don't
Bam
think so
Adebayo,
because he's
they,
younger. I mean, he's younger than Larry. I think Larry just,
I mean,
when age, man, catch up with you. Some people would catch up with him faster. I think just like age just caught up with him.
I don't
I
know,
think
man.
he
He,
maxed out with the Toronto, and then after that, I think he kind of peaked out with Toronto.
I don't know. I feel like he's probably led some inconsistent seasons even out there in Toronto. If you
Yeah,
ask me about real
yeah.
basketball and Kyle Lowry, because I'm telling you, I used to see Kyle Lowry. I used to go for the guy. I used to want him in
Yeah.
what's my guy over there in Chicago now?
LeVar? No.
No.
Oh my
Uh,
God!
oh
I know
my
you're talking
God.
about from
That's so,
Crenshaw from L.A.
yeah, they
from
call him
Crenshaw.
the mid range. Oh my,
Yeah, the mid range monster, man. DeMar
yeah,
DeRozan. That's what it is. DeMar
DeRozan.
DeRozan.
Yeah, him
Yeah,
and DeRozan. It's bad. I feel horrible.
yeah.
Sorry, DeMar. You deserve better than that. A little bit better. You still got some dog in you. But
Oh man, yeah,
yeah,
he good. I like DeMar, man. He got that dog in him.
yeah, I just think he needs to be consistent in it. You know, him and
Yeah,
Jimmy Butler, they do the same thing. They get revved up, they get going, and then they fizzle out. I just
yeah,
feel like, and it's hard. You know, it's like
yeah. You gotta realize,
I'm
like,
a
I
teacher,
know.
right? So
Yeah,
it's hard to go 100 miles. You got to pace yourself, and
yeah.
I feel like
Consistency.
like
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 even being consistent. We was talking about that on the podcast yesterday. We was out there on the bridge, man. Me and Jay. Being consistent is hard because you have to give up something to maintain consistency. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I agree.
Uh, you know what I'm
Agree.
saying? Even like say to run a business, like if you want to run a business, you got to give up something to run the business. Like even like with Kobe, he worked out so much, even in the summertime, 2 or 3 times a day. But that's what made him great. You know what I'm saying? And you think about other players, like why is the eighth man or the 10th man on the bench? What separates them from the top player? Maybe it could be the trainer. Maybe it could be. Sometimes a lot of people say it could be the coach. They're not the coach's pick or whatever, but sometimes some people don't want to work out the same. They want to put in the same work ethic, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
And
Larry over the summer, he's definitely have to work on that shot.
yeah,
If you're gonna be like the number, uh, I would say
boy.
I would say number three option, number 2, 3 option. Definitely, if he
Yeah.
plays to his full potential, he could definitely be the the two option, number
It's
2 option.
tough for Miami though, bro. Oh, man. Can you imagine summertime Miami? You trying to work out, man? There's so much stuff to do.
Yeah, he better come down here to Little Rock,
You
man.
trying to be on the beach. You
And
trying to be on the beach. You can't get away from that beach. Boy, Miami Beach, man.
hey,
Woo.
he better
Boy.
come. He better
All
go
that food, man.
somewhere else. Go to Nashville. They go to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
stick somewhere.
Yeah,
Get
be
his
like Roy
game.
Jones Jr. Yeah, go train like a boxer. Go train somewhere in the middle of nowhere, man, in the desert, man.
Yeah, I mean
Come back lean.
those guys got to do that. I think Bam Adebayo, he's gonna have to get in the gym, train, get that confidence going because he's too good to be playing like he's playing right
Yeah, I
now.
always wondered with guys like Bam, like in the summertime, do you improve your game or do you just keep it where it is? It seems like some guys come back from the summer, they do the same stuff. They
Yeah,
never add to it.
you can't
You know,
do that in this type of league. You cannot be the same. You got to be better.
but it's a
And
lot of dudes like that. They do that though. They come back the same. They never really
James
change.
Harden, I ain't
Yeah,
seen too much improvement from him this year. I
we
mean,
eat the cheesesteaks, man. He up in Philly eating them cheese at Geno's, man. He can't
well,
help
he need to shut it down because man, I'm tired of being disappointed. I'm
Oh,
telling you,
that's just what he all about the money, man. He don't care about winning championships,
man,
bro. He all
Harden.
about the bag. He
If
all about
James Harden
branding.
cares about his brand, his name, James Harden needs
Yep.
to be consistent in his play and be somebody like stop acting like a prima donna. Y'all, you had Joe Embiid who's playing decent. You had Tyrese Maxey. You had probably the best team you've ever played on Tobias Harris. Stop being a prima donna.
I
Make
think
that
he ain't
stuff
like
work.
Doc.
Play ball.
I think he's him and Doc butted heads or something. I don't know what it was, but
Who cares?
did you watch that last game? He was passing those shots like he would go to the rim like he finna shoot it, then he'd just pass it back out. And he wouldn't even try to shoot the ball. He wouldn't even be aggressive. I knew something was wrong. When I seen he wasn't trying to be aggressive and score, I knew something was wrong. I said either he got a problem with Doc or he just don't want to be there no more.
All this prima donna stuff,
Oh yeah, he prima donna. Yeah, he definitely prima donna.
Get to it, play basketball. If Doc is a bad coach, everybody will see it. He will blow a 3-1, a 3 or whatever,
Yeah.
3-0. But it's not your job as a player to try to expose your coach. Just
No,
play
definitely.
ball. Just play
Yeah.
ball. You make too
I
much
don't think he
money.
exposed him. I just think he just had an attitude problem. Like it's like he didn't want to be second fiddle or something. It's like he wanted to prove that I'm better than Embiid. You ain't gonna win without me. That's that prima donna stuff. You know
Let me
what I'm
tell you
saying?
something. If he was better than Embiid, even with Embiid on the court, he'd be outshined on Embiid. When KD went over to Golden State,
Yeah,
KD was the man on that floor. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I'm not saying he better than Steph, but I'm telling you, he made a
He better than Steph.
big case. He
He
would have
better than
never
Steph.
he's never been the king of Golden State because we know that belonged to Steph. He
Just
made a
off size and skill,
he made a
he better
case.
than Steph.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, he made a strong case. I'll say
yeah,
a strong case to be safe. A strong case because he's
yeah,
been kind of inconsistent. I don't know if it's the injury. I don't know what it is. He
yeah,
made a strong case to say, "Hey, I'm that guy. I don't care where I'm at.
yeah.
You put me amongst the best players. I'm gonna still play." No,
For sure.
I think James Harden failed us. I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
he definitely fair. I mean, he just got them, but he got the bag, man. Everywhere he went, he just got the bag. He just keep it moving.
Sorry, I
So
wasn't
think
paying.
about Money Williams. I think Money Williams, of course, he made the right decision. $72 million. Who gonna turn that down? That's a Godfather deal, right?
They're not gonna
they
keep
gave you,
James.
they
They're
gave him
not
an
gonna
offer
keep.
he could refuse, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I mean, they're not gonna. I mean, Monty Williams. I think he's a principal coach.
Oh yeah,
James
definitely.
Harden lacked those principles. I don't think they're gonna mesh well at all. I think that I think there was a problem with Monty and Aiden, and I feel like
Yeah,
the Suns really undervalue DeAndre Ayton. You can't undervalue people and then expect for them to perform at their highest. And I
I
think
think
that's their issue.
Monty called him out publicly. He said something to him, and I think he just turned him off, man.
That
Um,
prima
a
donna
lot
stuff.
of
You
a
play
lot of guys
basketball,
don't have
you
that
get millions of
mental.
dollars. You can't be no
Yeah.
prima donna.
But yeah, a lot of guys don't have that mental strength to be like, I don't care what he say, I'm gonna get my numbers. So when it's time for me to move, I got everything in place for me to move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of just pouting, because it seemed like he wasn't holding Joker like right. It seemed like he was just like, I'm not for to hold you. Go ahead and spin and score. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Go ahead and shoot it. I'm not gonna block you.
let me say this. Let me
Go
say
ahead.
this. The bad part about this that may be true, but even at his best attempt to hold Joker, he probably was in for
But before they had beef, he used to play Joker pretty good before he got into it with Money. Before they really started getting into it, he used to remember they they went to the finals and played against the
now Murray
Bucks.
though. Remember Murray wasn't alone.
That's
Murray
true.
wasn't there to give them buckets, man. When
That's
Murray
true.
started giving them buckets and everybody else started to join the party, man,
Yeah.
Denver is a different team. You know,
I think though if Chris Paul would have been healthy though, that probably would have been a different
series.
because the part when how he slowed the offense down, it would have stopped them because really the Nuggets ran them out the gym. Whenever the games they won, they pretty much ran them out the gym. Chris Paul would have got the ball and slowed it down. Like, go ahead, give it to me. Let's slow it down. And then we running plays with Booker and what's his name. You know what I'm saying?
But
But
Booker
oh
is a
yeah.
speed player.
Oh
And
man, can you imagine if Chris Paul would have been healthy and they just run like Showtime Lakers? You got KD and Booker on each side. You just pick who you gonna pass it to, and it's Trey. That's cash all day. But
well,
he couldn't stay healthy, man.
if he's
Yeah.
not trying to run a half court set,
Yeah.
yes. But if because I feel like there's an ideology difference there in Phoenix that no one's talking about, right?
Yeah.
I feel like CP3 and Book are into it. I feel
You think
like
so?
oh man, yes.
Wow.
Yes, man. I
thought
don't
he liked CP3.
I think their style of play, man, is different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel
They
like
definitely need to get like a fast, like a running guard, man. Like a
well, they need to change it up. They need to change up
Yeah.
their strategies. And CP3 is gonna have to adapt because if not, he's gonna find himself out the league.
I don't know if any. I mean, I don't know if it's any point. Like they would have to get somebody like Dame Lillard or something. I know they can't get him, but they would need a guard like that. Somebody that can like run that thing, and then if they need to shoot, they can shoot as well. If they cut off all the other options. But it ain't too many point guards like really left in the league when you think about it. It's really
Dame ain't really a true point guard. If you ask
no, but
me, he's
yeah,
a two. But
yeah.
you know, I would still. Who needs to go get Dame Lillard?
Because I was thinking with Monty, right? I was
Mhm.
thinking like, wow, why would he go to Detroit? But then I see how much they gave him. Because that's like the worst team. You know what I'm saying?
You
The
talking about
worst team in
Detroit?
the league. Yeah,
The
Detroit
Pistons.
Pistons. Yeah, but when they
Yeah,
give you
they got a
70,
lot of young. They got a lot of young talent who's gonna be very malleable, right? They're gonna be.
man,
They're gonna
70
be.
mil is valuable. I don't think you care about the talent. It's 70 million. He's
I mean,
72.
Every coach wants to go and win. Everybody wants to.
Yeah, every coach want to go when he won. He won the lottery, but he didn't. I'm sure he's gonna win the game. But he definitely won the lottery.
I mean, Detroit is. They look a lot like a lot of young talented teams. You know, everybody can believe Sacramento.
So let me ask you this:
almost done some stuff this year.
So let me ask you this: let's say the Bucks offered him $70 million, and Detroit offered him $70 million. Who you think he'll pick first?
Bucks all day long.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Detroit gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. Like ain't nobody else give $70. That's a lot of money for a coach. They say with incentives he can make $100 million. I'm talking about as a coach. That's crazy, man.
It's decent. It's decent money.
Even if he get fired, he still at least get the $70 million. You know what I'm saying? If he get fired in 2 years, he gonna get the rest of their contract. I think their contracts are fully guaranteed. Coaches are.
Well, Monty is solid.
Yeah, he's solid. He's solid.
So I don't feel like Detroit gambled in that.
So here's the crazy question right here. Shannon Sharpe. They said it's rumored that he's leaving Undisputed. Are you surprised that that's happening?
Well, see, I don't know if Shannon Sharpe is getting better. I tell him to leave Undisputed all day long, right? If he's better in his life, anytime. But I'm not going to let a dispute with Skip Bayless affect my livelihood. And so if it's affecting his livelihood, like if I was gonna make the decision, I was gonna make the decision like right after he offended me, right? If it's gonna affect my livelihood, it's gonna be like if I'm gonna push to do that, and right. Do it in a way where it's consistent with my beliefs. I'm not gonna wait, down the line and do it. But I feel like if his life, when he looks back and his life is still better, then I think Shannon Sharpe is doing the right thing. But if he looks around and if his life is hurt for it, I think he may need to reevaluate his decision.
Yeah, I feel looking at it from an objective standpoint, because like I said, I don't got no dog in that fight as well. I think sometimes when those shows they get so wired up, that has to take a toll on you at some point. Because Skip Bayless,
what has Skip Bayless done?
I don't think he's done anything.
That is the question. And how is Shannon Sharpe allowing Skip Bayless to tell him anything about his NFL career when he doesn't have one? And then if you're letting somebody talk to you about something you're doing and he hasn't done anything, he's getting you revved up. You've put this guy on a pedestal, on a level to communicate with you, which he has not earned. So it really doesn't matter what Skip is saying or not saying. Go ahead, get your money, or do not get your money. It's up to you. But make sure that bar none, that whatever you do, it doesn't affect your livelihood. Because hey, I'll look at Undisputed as long as they have somebody like a Shannon Sharpe on it. But if they don't, I really don't want to hear what Skip Bayless got to say too much.
Yeah, because Skip Bayless to me, like I understand the dude. I mean, he's like the $1 million man on wrestling back then. He's like the heel, like the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how he views himself, like being the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how he rolls. You know what I'm saying?
Bad guy has to have a resume, man.
I don't know how they talked off air, but Shannon's a high-strung guy too, man. Like really high-strung. So yeah, if Skip know how to get under your skin, he one of them pessimistic people, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
because you remember back then in McClellan, you be two dudes roasting. There's always somebody take it personal. You know what I'm saying?
Right, man.
It's like why do it in the first place if you gonna take it personal? You know what I'm saying?
I know, man. I was just telling my wife the other day today about us roasting in the school.
Oh my God,
that's seem like all we did sometimes.
Oh, I was saying on a podcast yesterday. I told them, you very rarely hear people say that you're great, but you'll get roasted before somebody tell you that you're great. Well, you know what I'm saying? And I say that people don't realize like that was the kind of stuff that we grew up in, and they do take a toll on you. But you got to have your own confidence to know that you're great, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
because people don't tell you that you're great.
It's just God. God has to. If you're in a pessimistic environment, God has to shine His light on you, and and give you that type of courage, that type of strength to do the unthinkable. Because if everything around you says otherwise, and you're able to defeat the odds and do something great, then it cannot be in my opinion. It's nothing. The grace of God.
I'm with you.
And I'm going to talk basketball. I'm going to tell you my strong opinion, but at the core of who I am as a person is God.
Yeah, it should be everybody. You'd
Yeah,
hope, but yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
I
So
wouldn't be here talking to you if it weren't for God. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
wouldn't even got an IT. I didn't even know what I
man.
was gonna be doing, man. But God, right?
Yeah, but God shows us our paths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So Shannon leaving Undisputed proves to me as a person that's thinking it from a holistic standpoint proves nothing
yeah,
to me, because if you're gonna let Skip Bayless, who has done nothing, run you off a show where you making money, yeah, he gonna make more money than you. I don't know what you got planned up if you gonna make more money than him on your
I
next
think
move.
I think his podcast started really. What I think is my opinion. What he did was he got on the show with Skip, right?
Mm-hmm.
Used that platform and built up his presence. His presence started to be so much bigger than Skip Bayless. I think he behind the scenes he was trying to get more control or more equity, and they didn't want to give it to him. So you remember he used to bring that Club Shay Shay sign on there and stuff when they win and stuff, and it
Mm-hmm.
started catching with people. He know how to make little catchphrases and different things like that.
Well,
You know what I'm
well,
saying, for social media. And I think it got so big, like he got like millions of subscribers already for his Club Shay Shay podcast.
Well, I
It's
mean, he's built
yeah.
value. Put it like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He built value before he got on Undisputed.
No,
You know,
definitely. I mean, I love Shannon Sharpe when he played football. I loved him, man.
his
Yeah.
career built value for him, and now and as a talk show analyst and a host,
Yeah.
I feel like he brings his own to the table, and I think
Yeah.
he saved that show.
Yeah.
That's
He
what
did.
happened.
He
I mean,
did.
because nobody really wants to listen to Skip Bayless talk nonsense if it's not paired with somebody who's
Yeah.
valid.
I think when he told him he wished he would have took the text down. Because most people the thing with Skip, if you really notice, whenever he's losing or whenever Shannon started getting him, he started making those faces on, oh yeah, he started talking out of both sides of his mouth sometimes. Like, and then when he told him he wish he would have took that he wish he would have took that tweet down, Skip kept cutting him off. Some people don't like to get cut off at all, especially when they're heated. He knew how to get up under his skin. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's what caused everything, but I'm saying that's
Let
when
me
you're dealing with Skip, man. You really have to leave your feelings. You know what I'm
talk
saying?
about Tom
And
Brady. Tom Brady is better than a lot of football players. What are you talking about? How is that making you mad? Tom is a quarterback. You guys play two different positions. You shouldn't. It doesn't make sense. I mean,
well,
you
see,
can't
the
compare
thing is,
apples to
Skip,
oranges.
uh, Skip loved Tom Brady like
I
Shannon
respect
Sharpe
Tom.
loved LeBron, but
I
Shannon would
respect
still
Tom.
critique LeBron if he play a bad game. Skip, he always take over Tom Brady though. Like even if Tom Brady have a bad game and he know he have a bad game, he start making them face. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna say it out of his own mouth though. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
Tom.
Yeah.
Hey, at first I didn't like Tom, but I like Tom. Tom. I
I
like what
mean,
Tom brings to the game of football,
yeah.
man. I respect Tom's game. If I was in
I
a
like.
fight,
Yeah.
and I had to pick between Tom and another quarterback, I'm picking Tom Brady on my side to
Well,
fight.
here's the deal, right? Like pure talent. Like I like Bill Belichick. That's my guy. I like the Belichick, the Patriot way. That's my dude, man. I like Bill Belichick.
Well,
But if the thing is, right, with Tom Brady, they met at the perfect time. They was in the right place at the right time, right?
I agree.
If you put Tom Brady on any team back then, he probably still wouldn't have gotten the game. You know what I'm saying? But the system, Tom Brady was smart enough to listen to the coach and understand the system that he was in until he got to the point where he could take off. You see what I'm saying?
I
That's
think
what I liked about Tom Brady.
I
Like
think
it.
his
Go
skill
ahead.
came from his work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady.
No, I'm talking about
I don't think
The
I don't think
system.
he was talented. I don't think he was just like, oh, he
Yeah, he's
got a
not Joe Montana or nothing like that. No,
no.
absolutely not.
I don't think his talent was just like, oh, but his ability to study the game
Yes,
and
yes,
his
yes,
discipline. I think he surpassed all those guys. He got more
yeah.
championships than them.
But the system that Bill Belichick had in place, that single back, two tight end, throw it 5 yards, throw it to the tight end and all that, it kind of helped him get his confidence to grow into what he grew into. Instead of having him in the offense where you got to make 3 or 4 different reads based on this defensive coverage and stuff like that.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree that there is a
perfect marriage. It was a perfect marriage for each other,
mutually
pretty much.
beneficial relationship. But I would not dare to say that Bill Belichick made Tom Brady.
I would.
Tom Bell, I wouldn't.
I would.
No, I wouldn't.
Because if you would have never put him in the game, if you would have never put Tom Brady in the game, we would never know who he is.
What I'm saying is this: Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady had to execute and had to play, right? He had to do those things.
Right.
I feel like Bill Belichick. I'm not gonna say he made Tom Brady, but he's a he added to and helped him get to where he is. Because if he was nothing without Bill Belichick, he would never won the championship in Tampa.
No, that team in Tampa. I mean, that's like that team in Tampa was a car already built. They just needed a driver for it.
Yeah,
Tampa was a perfect scenario.
What happened? What happened to them this year?
You said what?
What happened to them this year?
The car change because first of all, he should never brought Antonio Brown there. Number one, and number two, when every time you win a Super Bowl, that's what make Bill Belichick good. I don't know what it is about the Patriot way, but most other teams, when you win a Super Bowl, the other dudes don't come back. They come back like they Hollywood now. Everybody think they better than what they are, something like that. Bill Belichick like brought Tom Brady in. He had a crazy defense. I mean, this dude had Willie McGinnis, Ty Law, Brewski, all those guys, plus the tight ends like Hernandez and forgot the other guy was played for the Saints. And then it's just, I don't know, his system, man, because people love to play for dude at that point. You know what I'm saying? And but he had a lot of talent at that time. I guess what I'm trying to say. That's the hard part I think about the NFL, the NBA, is you get all that talent together, but when they start winning, the price goes up. You got to win before the price goes up. And that's what Bill Belichick was doing. He will win, and he know, okay, Seymour going to want more money, so I'm going to go ahead and trade him before that money's due so I don't have to pay him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it ended up biting him in the end because now he has no talent at all. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of – but it's like –
he got to a point where he undervalued Tom, and then Tom was the guy that was putting the glue together, telling the guys to stay, even though Tom was taking pay cuts.
Okay.
They didn't want to pay Tom in the end. You know,
and let's be real too. Tom Brady was a diva too, though. Let's be honest.
Oh man,
he do some behind the scenes stuff. He won't say nothing to Bill Belichick. He'll go up and talk to Kraft like, "Hey, Kraft, man, I think Bill Belichick tripping, man." Let's be real.
Hey, man, I don't understand. I know that what I learned that the game is played on and off the field, right?
Oh, it is because you remember he got what's his name traded. You remember that? He got Garoppolo. He said he went up and talked to Kraft and he told Belichick, "You gonna trade Garoppolo? He's not gonna be on this team." You remember that?
I don't, but I do.
Yeah, he did.
But it sounds Tom Brady is.
And then that's when Belichick traded to San Francisco to his homeboy. He gave him a homeboy deal. Said, "Hey man, you need a quarterback, man." Says they don't want me to have him, man. You have him, man.
well, it goes to that whole. It goes to the whole valuing your quarterback, valuing the people. Like Tom done so much for New England, right? And New England did a lot for Tom. At the same time, you got to value your people.
You got to value people, yeah.
Yeah, you just can't.
I'm a Belichick guy, man. I love Bill Belichick, bro.
You just can't.
I like Tom Brady too, but I like the Patriot way. I mean, he had all the talent, but I think after a while, the talent you only can keep it for so long. I mean, even with like Tampa Bay.
No, I think that they were successful at building dynasties, as long as they kept their quarterback at the helm and they protected him, did what they're supposed to do. I think once they got beside themselves, saying, "Well, you know what, Tom, we appreciate the hard work you've done for us, but it's time for us to move on from you."
I think Kraft wanted him to stay, but Bill Belichick wanted him to leave.
Yeah, we're gonna do this by doing A, B, and C. You got to value guys like Tom Brady. Tom Brady, you can't go and get a Tom Brady overnight. You can't go and find a Tom Brady in every draft. Tom Brady's that once in a lifetime guy, and you got to make him feel that way.
But there are some guys like it's the Patriot way is over everything, right? Now, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you how it go. He want to trade you. He want to get all of.
If it was, they would have been somewhere near going to the championship, sniffing around the championship. And I know
no more talent.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. If the Patriot way succeed the players on the field, then no matter what the circumstance and situation, they should be great. They should be in it.
Right. And that's what they thought, but it didn't happen. But yeah, because he thought he was gonna be with what's that guy from Alabama, but it didn't happen though. But yeah, man.
You talking about you talking about when they got
Mac
Cam Newton?
Jones. Yeah, Mac Jones.
Man,
Yeah.
they should have stuck with Cam. They had a better chance with Cam Newton.
I don't think Cam. I think he don't fit the Patriot way. This is not a Patriot way kind of guy.
He's unorthodox probably when it comes down to
I'm talking about personality wise. I think his personality just didn't fit.
Let me tell you something. They needed something like that. They needed somebody who's gonna be able to give them more than
Belichick is not gonna have somebody that bigger than him, bro. This is not, that's not gonna happen.
Guess what?
We know coaches like that in high school. Like, look, man, you're not fit to come here and do that kind of stuff. It ain't politics is a month. Like you say, the game is played on the field and off the field.
Guess what? Let me tell you something. Belichick's in for a rude awakening if he doesn't change his ways.
Oh yeah, I think he ain't gonna be there too much longer. I think he know that too. He's not gonna be there too much longer. He had a nice run though. He had a nice.
He had a nice run with who? With who?
With Tom Brady.
Does he have a championship without Tom?
Does Tom have a championship? He wouldn't even be in the game. But I'm trying to tell you, in order for him to go to Tampa Bay, he had to play with
hardware without Belichick.
But I'm saying he wouldn't have got to Tampa Bay if Belichick would have never put him in the game.
I'm not saying that it's not a mutual beneficial arrangement.
Because we both know, even that in the high school sports, there are some players that were better than some of the players that were playing, but the coach never put them in.
That infuriates me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That politics, that's very infuriating. Just to hear you talk about. Now, I feel like there's been talented players. I feel like when you go to talent, Aaron Rodgers, I think Aaron Rodgers probably got more natural talent than Tom, but he don't have a discipline that Tom has. And people probably argue the Rodgers fans.
Tom Brady. That's what I like about Tom Brady. Mentally, he's a chess player. He know how to play chess. He a chess player. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying
is, if Bill Belichick would have never put him in the game, if Drew Bledsoe would have listened to Belichick and would have followed the system, Tom Brady would have never gotten the game. But you know what? Drew Bledsoe he had a rocket arm. That's all he heard all his life. He got a rocket arm, and he wanted to gun the ball downfield. Bill Belichick. And then when he got injured, Tom Brady came in, and he said, "Oh, so you'll listen to me? You'll run the system? That's what we finna roll with." Because you remember, the first Super Bowl, he didn't win that Super Bowl. The kicker did. He just got him in position. But he wasn't like the other one. He was just coming back, throwing the ball, winning the game. He followed the system, threw it to the tight end, methodical offense, get it to the 20-yard line, let the kicker do his job, and we going home with the championship. Remember that?
I don't remember.
Against the Rams. And then after that, he started growing progressively. He started growing. But you don't get there until the coach put you in the game, though. That's all I'm saying. You don't get there.
Well, I feel like Bill Belichick did his job. He played the best player for that position. I feel like Tom Brady was the best player for that position. Bill Belichick could have developed another talent, of course.
Right.
But we're talking probably, we're living in a different universe. We live in I feel like Tom Brady is like man, and let me tell you, I didn't like Tom. I'm gonna be real transparent. But Tom Brady is pretty good.
I like both. I like them both, but I like Belichick better. But yeah, I understand that Tom is good, but I understand too that if Belichick would have never put him in the game, you know what I'm saying? That's the hard part, is really getting because he was drafted so low, right? He was almost Mr. Irrelevant. So most of those guys don't even get tick at all, you know what I'm saying? So that's why when you get in the game, this for kids. When you get in the game, you got to shine when you get in the game.
Well,
you can't say, "Bro, let me get a do-over." You know what I'm saying? No, you got to shine. And that's what he did. He listened to the coach, which is number one. Listen to the coach, and then he shined. He started growing progressively. You know what I'm saying? Because I promise you, if he'd have went in there and listened to the coach, he would have sat him right back down. No problem. But sometimes it's those intangibles of understanding, like, how do I play chess? I need to listen to what he telling me.
Coachability.
You mean I ain't got to throw the ball 30 yards? Because he never been like a deep thrower except when he had Randy Moss, but he just throw it 5 or 10 yards. That's all I got to do is read the defense. What? You know what I'm saying? That's what made him good, because he understood, like, I don't have to be like everybody else. I just need to play within the system that's before me. You know what I'm saying? Man, but Bill Belichick, man, he tried to get rid of while the value was still high. and they could get stuff on. But Robert Kraft, he was going back there behind his back talking to Robert Kraft, and I think that's why Bill Belichick didn't like him either. He was going behind his back talking to Robert Kraft. He didn't follow the chain of command.
As Tom has done for the Patriots, and the Patriots have done for Tom, I tell you, it's a mutually beneficial relationship.
Oh, definitely.
I feel like it's a tragedy that he would have to go behind his coach's back to talk to the manager to keep his position. And I feel like that's when you talk about devaluing players, and when you devalue players, you end up what you got now, a goose egg. So
I think that's the NFL. Though. They always devalue. You think about running backs, right? They devalue running backs like a mug.
For Adrian Peterson,
Adrian Peterson, they ran dude in the ground too. The man.
The whole offense. He was the whole offense.
I don't think he ever had like a great quarterback. It was just him.
Got to a play.
All we need you to do is just pass the ball back to AP. That's all we need.
And he's doing the rest. But it's unfortunate that guys like that don't have that type of hardware, because they rode him until he's not the player he once was. We'll get into some football probably here pretty soon because that season is probably.
But we're gonna definitely get into football.
And I'm so. I know everybody's probably thinking about the tragic play with Pete Carroll and Marshawn Lynch, the best running back at the time. You think about what is going on in people's heads during that time. But without further ado, I know we got another question on the.
That's cool. That's actually pretty fun, man. Just chop it up, man. I like it. Would Jokic? Do you think Jokic will win the MVP of the finals? Because we know they're gonna win, but you think he's gonna win the MVP? Or you think Murray gonna creep in there? You think Murray gonna creep in there?
It depends. It depends.
Yeah.
I feel like right now, if we take the polls today, Joker is hands down.
Oh yeah, hands down
is the winner. And no knock to Murray. Murray's a really great player. He's just playing with somebody who's really good too. So it's they pair well together. So and I applaud them for not behaving like divas. Like they could be behaving like James Harden and Embiid. And nobody wins that way.
So I got a question. Do you think AD got a problem with LeBron? You think he tired of playing with LeBron, man?
Yeah, if AD has a problem with playing with LeBron, I feel like AD needs to go.
Seems like he's not playing to his full potential. I don't know what it is.
He needs to go home and be self-reflective. I mean, it's one thing because sometimes LeBron has been off the floor altogether, and it's just been AD. Yeah. AD sometimes play like a monster. Sometimes he doesn't play like.
I know, right? And that's what I'm saying. I wonder, is that why? Is he tired, or is LA
ready.
Or that lifestyle, that LA lifestyle messing with him? Sometimes you go out there, man.
AD's not ready to lead a team by himself. AD's not.
I remember that time when I seen him. I think he was playing for the Olympic team. Man, that dude was doing everything. He was dribbling the ball down court, shooting it, dunking on people. Now it just seems like he's just real passive. I don't know. It just seems like he's not the same.
His game started to decline when he was with the Pelicans a little bit. At the
Boogie,
end,
when him and Boogie was playing, yeah.
I mean, he's had opportunity to be that guy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so for me, I feel like, man, if you know that you don't want to be that guy on a night-to-night basis, then you better in your role, just play your role and do well in that role. And I feel like once he gets to that point in his life where I just want to be that guy that's going to give him 20 and 20 or whatever it is.
I think you want to go to Chicago. I don't know why. I think you want to go to his hometown.
I would send him to Portland. Now I go get Damian Lillard.
Ooh.
That
would be nice. Boy, him and LeBron on the same team.
Think
about if LeBron went to that Karl Malone game, bro. He was just posting. He was doing them turnaround jump. He don't even got to run around the court. Just give it to him on the elbow and just let him post up, man. Do that turnaround like Karl Malone. Man, dude will be unstoppable for another 5 years, probably, man.
Hey, I would love to see LBJ, kind of temper his game and let a player like Dame Lillard kind of take the head lead on shooting that basketball.
I don't know about Trey, man. I don't think Trey ready yet, but Dame, he definitely ready. They think
Trey Young. They go pick up Trey. They still gonna have to fight a little bit harder.
Yeah,
they still gonna have to fight a little bit harder because Trey
ain't got the killer instinct, man. He gonna take you out.
Trey's not there consistently yet. Trey is still like, if my emotions or feelings are not in it, or if I'm having a bad day, then I'm gonna play a certain way. You can't.
Yeah, Dame gonna get
basketball like that.
Dame gonna come with you. He gonna come with it, man. That's what I like about Dame, man. Yeah. I mean, Dame, I know he had to stay there. He had to get that max. You can't turn down that max contract. That's hard, man. turn down that max contract, man. He had, in Portland, he got that max deal offer, man. It's hard to turn.
I mean,
200.
It's all about it's all about theory and old school ideology and winning with the team you're with, all those different things that you contend with as a player. I don't think the bag
Generational
is
wealth.
I don't think it's the bag. I don't think the bag is the only thing that goes into making that decision like that.
I think that's the only thing that made. I think if he wasn't getting the max, he probably would have been worked his way up out of there. If it wasn't for that, man, you can't turn down. It's hard to turn down generational wealth. 250 million or something like that?
Yeah,
man, that's a lot. That's a lot to walk away from, bro.
I don't know. When you come out winning a championship, or hey, I take the 200 million and win the championship all day long over 250 million just with the goose egg, man. I feel like
I don't know if he's gonna get 200 million nowhere else. That's the thing, though. They would have to trade
Damian Lillard. They would have made a way to pay that man.
Yeah. Whew, man. Well, that's what James Harden did. I think he would. Now he's trying to get like $100 million contract now.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. Just for his brand.
$100 million. I would give him a trial year, and we wouldn't go no more than maybe 25 mil, 25 mil.
That's you gonna have to come in. If I was a GM or the owner of the team, you got to come in shape. You ain't coming in fat. You gonna come in shape. Coming in looking like somebody's uncle playing on the court with the pot belly. You gonna come in shape.
Yeah.
And you gonna have to tell me, man, do you got the heart for this, or you just here just to be here? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he definitely, man. He definitely in it for the money. I don't think he's just one of them dudes, man. He kind of remind me of I'm trying to think of a player in the '90s that was kind of like that. I'm trying to think of one. It's on the tip of my tongue. There was some players like that. There's some players like that in the '90s.
They had heart back in the day, man. In the 90s.
There was some players that was about that money though. They really wasn't into winning championships. It was more about the money. Because sometimes some teams you own, they're not. You got to think every NBA team. If you're realistic, they're not going to win a championship every year. There's only a few teams that really have a legitimate shot at winning a championship. You know what I'm saying?
I think, I get it. But I think
about like Brandon Jennings. Think about Brandon Jennings with the Bucks. When he played for the Bucks, the team he played for, they're not going to win legitimate. They're not going to win the championship. You know what I'm saying?
But the ideology of every player that steps on that court is that we going to win a championship.
I don't know. I've heard some of them on podcasts. They'll say, that's you want to have that mindset, but realistically, the team that you have, you're not going to win. You're not going to contend. Like the Wizards, they're not going to contend.
They probably
for a
don't need
championship.
to be on my team. Thinking like
what?
I don't want them on my team.
So if you're coaching the Wizards, you have the mindset that we got a chance to win the championship.
We better.
Boy, you got that mustard seed. That's mustard seed faith right there.
Otherwise, what are we doing? What are we doing? We might as well
hang tickets. It's an entertainment business too. They're selling tickets and selling tickets, man.
We might as well hang them shoes up if we're not coming to win. Because I'm not coming to not compete. I don't care if it's
if you own Detroit, right?
Detroit Pistons, yeah.
You think they got a chance? You thinking that we're gonna win the championship?
Every year they better come in. They better come and believe it every year. Every year, if they on my team, they better come and believe it every year. They better insane.
So you have a sign to say mustard seed faith, man.
Yeah. Hey, if you don't have it, you go elsewhere because I don't want no part of lackluster championship.
Oh man, we get ready to wrap it up, man. I didn't even know we talked for an hour, man. That's crazy, man. We just talking, man. That's what's up, man. I like it.
I enjoyed myself. Thank you for having me.
Anything you want to close out with, man, before we get ready to close out?
I don't think I can just say, with God, all things are possible.
Yes.
Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.
The way, the truth, and the life.
I would tell you to believe in Him, and things will not always go as happy as you want them all the time, but it'll go right for you most of the time. Amen.
Right. I tell people at church, you don't have to be perfect, but you can be consistent.
Amen. That's it. That's it. Consistency is key, and that's very hard to do.
Oh boy, for real. All right, guys, we get ready to sign out. We'll be back at you with another one, man. Watch another finals game and give you some analysis and stuff on some other topics that come up. But thanks for watching, y'all. CTM Sports. Thanks, Mel, for coming on. Definitely bring you back home, brothers. We get back together, man. We ready, man. We ready. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, we signing out.